Hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of King Can Tries. I am your host as usual, King Can, and with me is a good friend.
Hello, I'm Justice. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Immature comment 3 minutes from the end, which means we have to re-record the entire show. Ooh, what a big chin I've got.
Well, today I'm beta testing a new airplane simulator called War Thunder. It's set in World War II, between World War II and the Korean War. And we're just going to give it a go, see if we like it, and have a chat about it.
Nonsense.
Oh, yep. So we're going to queue up for a game now. This is the hangar. This is where you pick your planes and upgrade them, and so on and so forth. I suppose that's all I can really say about it. Anything to add about the hangar?
Yes, well, first of all, I'm not Justice, I'm Ludo. This is indeed a free-to-play game. It's much in the style of World of Tanks, except it appears to be, so far, a lot more flexible than World of Tanks. World of Tanks is very arcadey, whereas this
is more realistic.
Well, you have the choice. That's the important thing. You can...
Everybody loves choice.
Everybody loves choices, this is true. You can either play it as an arcade game, or if you want to, you can change your settings so it's a flight simulator. And there's battles available for all kinds. I prefer the flight simulator because I'm lazy.
I prefer the arcade mode because I prefer to do fighting and not worry about crashing because I'm actually shit at flying planes.
Yes, well, if you were any good at it, then you wouldn't have that problem, Brian.
So we're going to get into a game now. What plane are you thinking of flying?
I will be flying the workhorse of the RAF during World War II. I shall be flying the Hurricane.
And I'm going to be flying the Blenheim Mark IV, which is a big-ass bomber.
Well, it's not really. The Blenheim is a light bomber.
It's still a big plane.
Yes, with a mighty crew of 3.
As you may be able to tell, I am not a World War II buff, like my good friend Ludo.
No, I just like history.
See, I look to the future. The future's where it's at.
Tell that to Blade Runner.
Looks like the game we're getting into is a game of Dominion, which is a lot like your regular FPS capture and hold sort of game maps. The only difference is you've got to land planes onto these capture zones, which is a lot easier said than done.
Unless you're flying a bomber, which is slow.
Benefits to the bomber in this game mode are turrets. Your mounted turrets on your airplane will protect you automatically, so you can land on said airfield to capture it and be safe knowing that your gunners are going to shoot planes trying to shoot you off the runway. Whereas if you landed in a fighter, a la Ludo's flying...
I switched to the Beaufort.
Oh.
Because of the map type. You see, when you play this game, you have a hangar from which you can choose. It's between 4 and 6 planes. However, if you want 6, then you do have to pay, because this is a free-to-play game. Therefore, it has a free-to-play system. So there are 2 currencies in the game, much like most free-to-play games. The first is the silver lions, the currency that you get for
leveling up and gaining experience.
Yes, that's the one. And the golden eagles, the currency that you use for the that you buy.
Just a quick something to add. I have indeed just crashed. I told you I was very good at landing. I'm very bad at landing and taking off. I do apologise. Next plane I get in, I will... Oh, actually, I'm going to be repaired. My plane's going to live again, apparently.
I'm not. I'm going down.
If you could see the state of my plane now, I'll give everybody watching the video a better view than you've got. I literally have no wings, no engines. But it's telling me in 55 seconds I'm going to be flying again.
Wow, in 55 seconds, that's amazing.
So it might not be quite as realistic as we made out earlier.
Well, we are playing the arcade version now.
This is true. That's something to note. In the historical and real battle modes, which are the more flight simulator styled modes, you only get one plane. You only live once. There's no... It's all YOLO based.
That's to James Bond. Well, I died. I was going in for my landing. I was in correct position. The gears were out, and this Spitfire came out of nowhere and gunned me down.
They have a habit of doing that.
Yes.
Something to just notice. You may have seen on my screen that I just got a hit and an enemy kill assist for doing nothing. That was, as I mentioned earlier, my turret shooting enemy planes, just flying overhead. 3, 2, 1, and disappeared. Oh no! I'm back. I'm back.
Are you back from outer space?
Yeah.
I'm chasing someone who looks like they're one of the red arrows.
Alright, now you'll get the splendid pleasure of watching me try to take off. Oh, I'm a bit shaky. Only a little bit shaky. Oh no, I'm gonna crash into a tower.
That is a confirmed kill.
Oh no,
from Ludo.
oh no. I've just taken out... I'm so bad at landing and taking off. I literally just...
How can you not take off? All you got to do is push forward.
I crashed into a tower. That is the plane done. Critically damaged, repair not available. And a guy got credited for the kill. That's not on. Alright, I'm going to jump into the Spitfire so I can be one of those fast bastards shooting everything up. Seems you've not been playing this game for very long, Ludo, are there any questions you would like to ask?
Yes. Could you tell me, please, a little bit more about the cost of the free-to-play? Do you know at all?
The game itself, obviously, is free to download from either Steam or the War Thunder webpage. Both links will be in the description. The in-game currency that you can buy with real money is actually not expensive for a free-to-play model. I mean, what is it, 300 golden eagles is, what was it, £2.50?
I think it was £2. I'm not 100% sure.
And with the astronomical cost, a lot of free-to-play games ask for their paid content. That is relatively a drop in the water, which I believe you will agree.
I do agree.
But yeah,
For I'm a good boy and do what you tell me.
But yeah, as free-to-play games go, it's not an expensive one if you want to pay. And the game itself doesn't lose anything for being a free-to-play game. The planes you can get for real money basically just have better paint jobs, or they're a plane that wasn't used a lot during the war. Some of them for obvious reasons. One of the cheapest pay-to-play planes is rubbish.
That is 3 confirmed kills now.
I have 2. I'm actually doing 3, and I'm doing really well now.
Did you just get a kill assist for that one that I shot down?
That might be you, actually, yeah.
It's alright, there's one on your tail, Goose, I'm coming.
I thought we said no Top Gun jokes.
I couldn't help myself. I've got nowhere else to go. That was Officer and a Gentleman, though. I don't think that one counts.
It's just as cheesy, though.
That's 4 confirmed kills. Saved your ass.
You're very good at this game.
I'm not very good at it. I'm just having an incredibly lucky day.
Have you? Oh, you have lost a plane, haven't you?
Yeah, I lost my bomber.
Yeah, I'm doing actually quite well on the Spitfire. I'm usually dead within a couple of seconds of this thing. I am actually nearly dead. If you can see on the left hand of the screen, everybody, there's a little plane icon. All that red means I'm pretty fucked. Everything all white, everything's good. Everything red, everything's exceptionally bad. I'm actually being shot at now as well. The only thing that's not damaged is my engine, which is the only reason I'm still in the air. But I'm sure it won't be long before either a wing gets shot off or someone crashes into me.
I'm in a bit of trouble at the moment. I've got one on my tail.
Oh, I would come and help you, but it ain't gonna happen. I ain't got nothing. I'm having to land in the middle of a field in the hopes of repairing, and as we saw earlier, we can kind of guess how this is going to go. Oh, you never know. I'm actually coming in quite well. I'm a bit scared that I might ruin my propeller on landing though. Come on.
Oh, leave me alone. Oh, God, I think I'm going down.
Oh.
Yeah, I went down.
I'm bouncing off the floor.
It was another Spitfire, damn it.
But yeah, this game's got a relatively new game engine using its graphics, which is a very flexible graphical engine, meaning that it will support a wide range of graphics cards. So if you haven't got the best computer in the world, don't be particularly worried.
Like me.
Yeah. Whereas if you've got a really good graphics card, it will allow you to ramp up the graphical settings immensely.
It all depends on what you're... Like a good free-to-play game, it is flexible.
Yeah. With good reason, because they want people playing it. They want people cashing in for them golden eagles. But yeah, I can never pronounce the producers of the game. It's Gaijin or Gijin. I'm not sure. Someone leave in the comments how it's pronounced. But their games are very accommodating to everyone in different levels of computer computer powers.
Computerness.
Yeah. But I mean, if you like the look of this, it's something to just pick up, and your computer should run it. If it can run a lot of the other
it is a very
free-to-play
pick up and
games,
play title.
Yeah, there's not huge tutorials generally.
Well, there are.
There are, but they're optional. The main tutorial teaches how to fly. It is a 5-minute affair, and then it just chucks you in with people at the same skill level as yourself. But
that is the thing. The game is really quite well balanced, I have found. I was very worried because when I first played World of Tanks, I hopped into my little light tank. I thought, oh, yay, World of Tanks. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Whereas this game, it controls who you're put up against by its leveling system. That you have two things you have to level. You level your own personal skill level, which decides who you're put into combat against, and then you've got to level each faction individually, which determines what planes you can fly. Which I thought was rather good because it does keep the game very well balanced. You are usually playing against people who are the same skill level as you.
Or at least in the same planes.
Yes.
Because that's one of the major things, is obviously your planes go up in historical terms, really. Obviously, the planes from later in the war are a lot better than the ones from earlier in the war. And with your progression throughout your country's level, you unlock obviously progressively better planes. But it tends to keep you in the same sort of era. So you're very unlikely to see biplanes duking it out with Spitfires, unless someone's not bought new planes, which we have seen a few times, haven't we?
I have seen that a few times.
Us ourselves have only just finally got rid of our last biplanes.
Speak for yourself. I think you'll find I'm still using mine.
You've still got your Gladiator, have you?
Yeah, I see. This is one of the good things that I liked about the things. Where even if it's free, even when you play free to play, when you first start, you are given a choice of what nation you wish to play.
We obviously chose Brits.
We chose the British because that's who we are. And yeah, so the nation that you play, it gives you the first premium level plane for free on that nation. So, for example, if you want to play as the Russians, the nations available are the Germans, the British, the American, the Russians, and the Japanese. So you can always have that special 0 that you always wanted.
Everybody wants a 0.
Everybody wants a 0.
But yeah, it really is a good system. And
it is.
Because the biplane you get for starting with the Brits is leaps and bounds better than any of the biplanes you can get for your, just from leveling up. Which obviously leads you to believe that all of the other pay-to-win planes, as we like to call them, are a lot better than their equivalent planes within.
Well, this is the thing. The Gladiator itself that you get free, the premium one, it's exactly the same as the regular Gladiator. The only difference with it is
fully maxed out.
It's got all of the upgrades available for it.
Because that's something else to note. The planes also have, not skill trees, but upgrade slots. As you fly the plane more and gain experience with it, you unlock upgrades like a better engine or a more refined engine, or better guns, different types of ammunition to load into your guns. As you can see, the Hurricane flying at the moment, I'm shooting tracer rounds, hence the giant white lines. But another subsection of that is you can upgrade your pilot himself. As you fly more planes, obviously he gets more experience.
Stop shooting my ship, or plane rather.
Did I shoot you?
You didn't shoot me, you shot my target. You're not claiming my kill.
Well, I'm getting that assist. I will claim that kill, actually. I'm going to steal it. Kill steal with my tracers. That's a really good point to make as well. The ammunition you use in this doesn't seem like a big deal, but the fact that I'm using tracer rounds means there's a high chance of me setting enemy planes on fire. Whereas if I went against one of the larger bombers, which are ramped up with tons of armor, chances are I'm not going to do a thing to them.
Yes, you would need armor-piercing rounds, which is what I choose to use.
I like to watch the world burn, personally. But yeah, so how do you feel the game's going to do long term? We know it's got competition on its way from the makers of World of Tanks. They've got World of Warplanes on the horizon. Do you think that's going to affect this game much, or do you reckon it's carved its own niche within the market?
Well, so far, the flight that this game does, it does it very well. I have had immense pleasure playing this game so far. There is one thing on the horizon, though, that we are yet to see about. As we will most likely see later on in the hangar, there will be soon available
land-based
and sea-based, which is something I am looking forward to, especially in the hopes that all three will be available at the same time.
That would be amazing. That would be one of the. I think that would be a genre lifter, wouldn't it? The fact that the whole conflict is all playable characters. Because at the moment, not in this game mode, but in other game modes, you've got to shoot out land-based units. Now, the thought of them being controlled by other people and not just AI is slightly breathtaking on the game front, because it means you're playing in a game which is a huge. Because you can see me flying around now. This map goes for miles, and if that is populated with tanks, armored cars, and warships, that would just be incredible. That'd be such a feat of game design, in my eyes, you know.
It would as well. See, a lot of people might be thinking right now, oh, it will be like Battlefield 1942, and it's back to a World War II thing. No, I would love to see this be a purely vehicle-based combat engine.
Yeah.
So tanks and aircraft and ships. That is what I would like. Oh, I was strafed on the runway waiting to be repaired.
Oh no! See,
by a biplane.
I think if you put personnel and soldiers into the game, I feel that would be too much. Because you end up playing as a soldier and you'd be dead instantaneously. You'd be easy points, wouldn't you, for the Spitfires and the Hurricanes.
That and the fact that if they're going to run the ships and the ground units the same as they're running the planes, then one thing that you have to look at is you upgrade the crew.
Yeah.
So I don't see there being a place really for soldiers, for infantry in this game.
Yeah, because if they want to keep the same setup, the same level progression, and the same optimization, they'd have to create a whole new system for soldiers. So I hope that they do just keep it to vehicles.
If it is just land units, tanks like the Sherman or the Cromwell or so on and so forth, then I bailed out.
And that's game. We lost. That was horrible. We were actually doing really well at the beginning. It just seemed to go sour towards the end. May not have been the most riveting battle, but I hope it has shown you the basics of it. And you're miles above me, aren't you?
Look at that.
HM Freak Nipples #1. My place 8th.
Look at that, 8 kills.
I died 5 times and killed 1 enemy plane. That is abysmal. Absolutely
I have
abysmal.
got some upgrades now for my Hurricane Mark II fuselage repair and airframe for my Hurricane Mark I. I also got the award fighter.
So, have you got any final thoughts before we go about the game?
Yes. At this second, I would say that leveling in this game at the moment is really quite slow. You have to do numerous battles and missions and things like that to get your XP up enough to unlock the next tier of fighters. Now, I know beta is beta, but I would personally like to see not a vast increase in the speed of leveling, but at least
a slight increase.
A slight increase.
Yeah.
See, I start level 3 to 4 so far. I've done about 15 games, and I'm only 3/4 of the way.
Yeah. And because bear in mind, there's 5 countries at the moment. We do not know if they're going to add any more. But the fact that we're level 4 and we've only got these few selected British planes alone. I've just brought up my where you research a new planes. As you can see, I've only got a small selection of planes unlocked compared to the massive amount there is, and it just seems a bit daunting to do that with every country.
Unless you pay for it.
You pay for it, yeah.
Play to win, pay to win.
You can't. That's a point to note as well. You can't actually jump up planes. So I can't buy the Meteor F8 I've got selected now. I couldn't buy that with real money. But any of the ones down this side here can be bought with real money. And not all of them are great. Generally, they've just got a different paint job or a different weapon than usual. But I myself, I think it's cut itself a nice notch in the free-to-play market. I've not played anything like it. I've played a lot of flight simulators and I've played a lot of airplane fighting games, but I've never played a game that merges the two things together quite the same as this.
It is very seamless.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that because straightforward flight simulators can be very boring after you get over the fact that this is what it'd be like to fly a plane, and then you just
let's go to Toronto.
Yeah, and then you just realise you just sat there with your plane flying in a straight line for ages, whereas in this, it being a fight simulator,
a combat flight simulator.
I was trying to create new language there.
Look, only the O200 Club can make up new words.
But I just love the way that it keeps the simulation interesting and fun. So I believe that's it. That's War Thunder. Excellent game, still in development. Go
and check it out. I
see big things for it. Check it out. The specs and all the links required are in the description. This has been King Kang from Hate Me Gaming.
And I've been Justice. It's time for my inappropriate comment. I hate